Welcome to Bourbon School. I'm Marianne.
And I'm Brian, and today we're going to talk about some mistakes that every new bourbon drinker makes.
I've been there and I've done that.
Like yesterday.
Oh.
See if you see yourself in any of these mistakes, guys. Coming right up.
Okay, Brian.
Okay, Marianne.
Thank you. I like when you do that. We are going to talk about today things that, in our opinion,
Yes.
are mistakes that new bourbon drinkers make.
Yes. And
Okay.
a lot of this comes from our own experience
Yes.
of making these mistakes often, early, and often, and also currently sometimes.
Stop it.
Well, it's true. We're not like cured of all our bourbon ills.
No, especially the last two. I make this mistake a lot.
Yeah. So the point, we're not here to like bash anybody or shame anybody for the mistakes they've made or are making. And again, it is our opinion.
Yes.
But we just want to maybe, like from our experience, maybe help you guys to avoid some of these things, or at least doing them too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody will do a reaction video to our subjective list.
Yeah. We're waiting with bated breath, although I don't think we're big enough or controversial enough for that.
Oh, we can get controversial. Okay. So mistake number one is judging your bourbon by proof.
Okay.
Right? A lot of people think the higher the proof, the better the bourbon. And you know what? Here in the Fabiano household, what do we do a lot? We start with a warm-up pour.
Yes.
And that warm-up pour is always a low proof.
Lower, yeah. I mean, these days it's probably around 100, but...
Yes, yeah, for sure. But, you know, there are some really delicious 90 proofers out there. For example, a Woodford Double Oaked. One of my favorites. And that is, what, 96 or something like that?
94.
Okay.
94.
And that is absolutely chef's kiss bourbon. So don't judge a bourbon by its proof. You got to be open and willing to taste it and give it a shot.
Well, and especially when you're a new bourbon drinker, this is not, you do not want to go for the hot stuff right away. And even as an experienced bourbon drinker, there's a lot of high proof bourbons that we've bought that are just like drinking hot sauce.
Yes.
They're heat and not a lot of flavor, and they're not enjoyable. And you want to work your way up with proof, but then even when you get to a point where you're drinking higher proof, you want to be a little discernible about what ones you grab, and always try them first and really see if it's something that your palate enjoys.
Yeah, because if it's too hot, you're not going to get the flavor.
Right.
And that's what's the point of that. But bourbon is meant to be savored and enjoyed, and there's so many distinctive, delicious flavors in a bourbon, you really want to be able to taste it.
And if you're drinking pure gasoline, it could just turn you off to bourbon.
Right away, yeah.
All right. So next mistake is thinking older always means better. And this is one that I think I fell into this habit a lot in the earlier years that I drank bourbon, and I always was like, oh, if it's older, it's just going to be better. And like the thing that, you know what the one that changed my mind on that was?
What's that one, Brian?
Knob Creek 18.
Oh, yeah, which I don't remember too well.
I have had subsequent batches about Knob Creek 19 and it's 18, and it's been better. But the first time I had Knob Creek 18, it was like drinking bitter wood, and I did not like it. And it really made me think twice about, oh, is it always better if it's a high proof or a high aged bourbon? And no, it's not. And what you'll find is you'll end up getting into a sweet spot. Like our sweet spot's probably 9 to 12 years. And that's kind of like where we like to be. And we don't really go much older than that because the term I always use, you get diminishing returns.
Oh, I was going to say that the characteristic you always give it is musty.
Yeah, well, yeah. And you can get that too. I mean, it can get to a point where you're getting off flavors because it is so old. And then, you know, what's the point? You want to enjoy it, not just taste moldy wood. Anything on this?
No, you really said everything.
I covered it all.
You really did. You were very succinct in your description.
And thorough.
Yes. All right, Brian, the next one on our list that new bourbon drinkers, mistakes that they make, is chasing hype bottles too early. Hype, allocated, and what's the other one?
Expensive.
Yeah, expensive bottles. So like you're on TikTok, right? And all of a sudden you get into your new hobby of bourbon collecting and bourbon drinking. And TikTok comes up with shows you this awesome bottle of Blanton's, and you're like, "Ooh, baby, I need to go get that bottle of Blanton's." Like
which nobody
yesterday.
has ever said ever. But go ahead.
Just using it as an example.
I know.
And so a new bourbon drinker is like, well, I need this on my shelf.
Yep.
And so that person goes and chases this bottle. But how do you know? How do you even know if you like Blanton's if you're just a new bourbon drinker and you haven't even had that much exposure to different bottles of bourbon? I think you need to get your palate straight, try a whole bunch of bottles, try to get, as a new bourbon drinker, as many samples as you can before you start buying and investing. And then you'll get a feel for what your particular palate likes.
Absolutely. And Blanton's is the ultimate bottle example for this. Like, so many people new to bourbon are like, I was being facetious when I said it, but like, I need to get a Blanton's. Well, why would you want to go spend the $80 or in most cases secondary over $100, $140, $150 on a bottle if you're not really sure if you like it?
Yeah.
And also on some other bottles, like whether it's a BTAC or, the Russell's 15 or 13s or whatever, like those bottles that are more expensive and harder to get. Why are you chasing after those right off the bat if you're not really, like you said, sure if you're going to like it, and maybe your palate's not ready for them either?
Yeah. Okay, so in my experience as a newish bourbon drinker, I have found that I actually like specific distilleries.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big Penelope fan, right? And so I had to drink a lot of bourbon in order to realize that I really, really like Penelope, and I like everything that Penelope is putting out these days. So if you, the more you taste, the more you're going to be able to discern what you like and don't like.
And I think this is a lesson I learned, and I think it helped when you started drinking bourbon, because when I started getting you into drinking bourbon, like, what are the bourbons that I gave you? Woodford Double Oaked, Russell's 10, Shelfers. Not crazy high proof, crazy hard to find, not crazy expensive. Like, baby step it and start with stuff that's simple, and then you work your way up to those hyped up bottles if you're sure you're going to like them.
Yeah.
All right. So my next one is, and this is a mistake this one took me a couple of years to really come to my senses on, and that is buying too many budget bangers. I know people out there, especially in Whiskey Tube, budget bangers are like the darlings of Whiskey Tube. Everybody loves to make a video on the next great budget banger. And I am here to tell you, they are really great to start off with, but you don't need every single one. If you saw one person say, I like Wild Turkey 101 and it's the best budget banger, and somebody else said Early Times Bottle and Bond, and somebody else said Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, you don't need to go out and grab all those. I did that. I had them all on my shelf. And in the end, what you're stuck with is a lot of bottles of just okay whiskey.
Mediocre.
Yes. And you don't want to build a collection of mediocre whiskey.
No.
These are good bottles to start with. And if you buy one or two, perfect.
Keep them on your shelf. It's nice to have one or two on your shelf all the time, especially if you're bringing new bourbon drinkers into your home and you want to get them started on,
But what you're going to find is, as you progress and you become more of a bourbon drinker and you enjoy more stuff, what you're going to find is you're going to have a bunch of these bottles sitting on the shelf that you don't touch. And your standard for what you want to start at is different. Mine now is Knob Creek.
Yep.
Not necessarily a budget banger. It's $40. I mean, it's not expensive.
No,
but
it's not too expensive.
It's not a $20 bottle of Old Tub, know. So I think that buy a couple from a couple different distilleries so you can start working on profiles, but only a couple at a time. And that's probably all you need budget banger wise. And then what you'll see is you'll start progressing pretty quickly out of those, and you won't have a lot of use for a bunch of them on your shelf.
There's a place for them on your shelf for sure, but not in excess.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, number 5.
This is a mistake I make all the time.
Yeah.
Pouring like a bartender. Like, I want to pour a three-finger pour of bourbon, and sometimes if you saw the short when we did the Penelope
creme brulee review. Yeah.
Brian gave me this teeny tiny minuscule little pour, and I was so off put by that. Whenever he gives me a pour, I'm always like, give me a little more. Give me a little more. Brian tells me I have to sip like a gentleman. And so this is about tasting the bourbon and not just guzzling it down.
Right.
So you really do need to pour a little more judiciously, especially as a new bourbon drinker. It's not, you're not filling a whole jigger of a glass. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And
am I saying that incorrectly?
It's fine.
Okay, you're not filling a whole rocks glass full up to the top with bourbon. You're doing a gentleman's pour. It's not
SoCo or Crown Royal at the college bar.
Right.
Sip it like a gentleman.
Yes.
That is the best piece of advice that goes along with this mistake. Okay, last mistake, drinking it too fast or too cold. So kind of piggybacking off of that, we're not doing shots here, guys.
No.
Okay, if you want to do shots, there is whiskey that's perfectly fine for that out there. The bourbon is not it.
No. Bourbon is to be sipped.
Yes, you sip it, you enjoy it. It's an experience. So you don't want to drink too fast. And along with that, not just drinking it like a shot, but sipping it slowly because it gets air in it.
I was going to say it opens up.
It changes. Even in a sitting, as you're sipping a pour, it might change from sip to sip. So that's all part of the experience. So you want to enjoy that experience and kind of let it develop and not drink it too fast. The other thing is drinking it too cold. And I don't think there's really, I mean, they do recommend drinking bourbon at room temperature to get all the flavors.
That's my favorite,
and
to be very honest.
That's how you enjoy it. But I think along with the too cold idea is the idea of putting too much ice in it and watering it down.
That waters it down.
You don't necessarily want to water down your bourbon. Like how you want to start is sip it neat. If you find it too hot, too strong, too off-putting, put a couple drops of water in it. That might dilute it a little bit and bring out a little more flavor. And then if you're going to put ice in it, or if you feel like you want to have ice in it, get a big ice cube. The larger surface area makes it so that it dilutes it slower, and you'll get colder bourbon, but it won't be as diluted as quick, so you'll still be able to enjoy the flavor for a longer period of time.
You and Lauren did a video on that.
We did do a video on this. So
Brian will put the link over there.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. Those are the mistakes that we think that new bourbon drinkers make.
And the same mistakes that we made as well when we started drinking bourbon.
And some that I'm still making now.
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Like tonight, when you give me a pour, I want you to fill my glass.
But let us know in the comments, what are some mistakes you made when you were a new bourbon drinker? If you are a new bourbon drinker now, what are some mistakes you're making? And
how will they know?
Because we just gave them a comprehensive list.
Oh, of course.
And
if you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for notifications.
So you never miss another episode of Bourbon School.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
We don't have anything to drink.
That's all right.
We didn't pour our bartender's pour.
Mistake number 7. Have a drink when you're making a video.
Have a drink when you're making a YouTube video.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, everybody.